Look, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. Shout out again to everybody tapping in. Want to make sure we all good over here. Hopefully, y'all can hear me loud and clear. Figured I'd top on the social media lives real quickly. I will begin on my own network, Zabo 103 TV, my own live stream in about 3 hours and 30 minutes. A little bit over 3 hours, I'll be going live on my own network. So I said, let me go ahead and tap in here real quick. Um, Obviously, as a reminder, I know people should begin. You're going to start getting those notifications soon on when I'm actually going live on my own network. That's coming, y'all. We building this thing out. It's taking a little time, but it's working through itself, right? But welcome everybody to the live. If this is your first time on my live, put a 1 in the chat. If you've been on my live more than once, put a 2 in the chat. Just want to make sure we all, make sure I'm not moving past anyone and leaving no one behind. 23. Yeah, I know that's right, y'all. Appreciate y'all always tapping in, family. Look, if this is your first time on my live, I go by Zabo 103. If you haven't figured it out yet. I'm the dude that get on these live platforms and I literally just try to provoke thought. I believe if you think, if you research and you take action, you absolutely will win. There's nothing that can stop you as long as it's legal. It just is what it is, y'all. I popped on a little bit earlier today on, I think it was just on TikTok. It wasn't on all platforms, but right now I'm on all platforms, right? And one of the things I said to myself, I said, man, how many times have a person said in their whole career, is it 5 o'clock yet? If you've ever said, is it 5 o'clock yet? And you can understand exactly what I'm saying, so I ain't got to elaborate it. If you've ever said, is it 5 o'clock yet? Put a 5 in the chat. I just want to see some, y'all. I believe a lot of these things that we go through in life are very universal. Like we all go through some of the same stuff, y'all. It ain't that much of a variation to it, right? I used to think all the time I was the only person that would think about stuff like that. I can't wait to 5 o'clock. I can't wait to 5 o'clock. For you, 5 a.m. That's hilarious. But I think that with that being said, we all kind of understand what each other go through. And we tend to feed off of other people' energy because we all relate to each other in one way or another, right? So as I was thinking about, all the times I used to say, man, is it 5 o'clock yet? Man, I can't wait to clock out. Man, at 4 o'clock, man, I used to start preparing to leave work. By 4:30, seemed like 4:30 to 4:59 took the longest time to get here. The whole day, if the whole day flew by, it was cool. But at 4:30, it seemed like time was stopping. It was weird, y'all. And I used to just be so excited when 5 o'clock hit until I realized I had to get into this traffic and fight 2 hours one way. I used to be mad excited about 5 o'clock. Don't let it be 5 o'clock on a Friday. Woof. You talk about somebody couldn't wait to celebrate these 2 days off. Man, I couldn't wait. Just to get off and do nothing. I got my Friday off. I was excited. I got my music blasting on the way out the parking lot from work, blasting down the highway because I'm excited that it's Friday. Boy, I got so much energy. Get home. The wife tired. Don't nobody feel like cooking. I'm ordering pizza, y'all. We got paid today. What kind of pizza you want? You want pepperoni? You just want a cheese pizza? You don't want the fully meat packed, all this stuff on here, the supreme pizza. Just to celebrate 2 days off. I don't miss those days, y'all. I don't miss them at all. It's kind of scary when I think about it these days. What could I actually, what would, how would I, how, what would I do if I was back in the world where I only had 2 days off? I probably would lose my mind today. I probably 100% without a doubt lose my mind. Because your jobs are very strategic. Most of your jobs that most people have is what? Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. They know this is during the time, right? That the real world, the rest of the world, right, is conducting business. So for all the people that's stuck in the rat race at work, right? You never have an opportunity to really conduct business the way you need to, because by the time you get off, businesses are closing. The only thing that's really left for you to do when you get off work is to stuff yourself with all the food from the restaurants are still open, which ain't good for you. That's a different conversation. Entertain yourself by different things, whether it's the movies, whether it's the lounge, whether it's the club, whether it's the bar, whatever it is that you into, whatever poison that you choosing, that's the only thing left over. Ain't nobody conducting business when you get off work. You can try. There might be a select few things maybe you can possibly do, but if you're haven't started a business at all and you're trying to conduct business, you can't conduct business until you get off work. And when you get off work, all the businesses are done being conducted. Now, I don't want to say it's a coincidence. I don't want to say it's a strategy that's put in place and it's designed this way and all that other good stuff, but it's kind of a head scratcher, don't you think? It's kind of interesting how that happens, right? Think about that for a second. You can't conduct business doing business hours because you at work for somebody else, not your own last name. Begging for 5 o'clock to come, no matter what day, begging for a Friday because you get paid and you got 2 days off. You didn't hustle all week to take 2 days off. The math ain't mathing, y'all. It's not mathing at all. And I'm telling you, because I know we can relate to each other in this way, and I get it. I'm not that far removed from it. I'm telling you flat out, there's a whole nother world when you start conducting business doing business hours. I'm not talking about working a job. I'm talking about working for your last name. There's a whole nother world when you start conducting business for your own last name. Things that you would not see ever in your life, you see during the hours that you at work. So when you at work and everybody else is out conducting business, it's so much other stuff that's being seen. It's crazy to even think about. You will never be able to begin to unsee this stuff ever again in life. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. You've witnessed this your whole life. Have you ever worked on your job before, right? And took vacation just to chill? Had a staycation, not a vacation, a staycation, where you just stay at home and you might go get some, clean up around the house a little bit. You might go run some errands. You might do all this other different type of stuff, right? Mhm. Right? You take that staycation from your job for one day and you get out there in the real world, probably around like 11 a.m., a little bit before lunch. You even see different people that you ain't never seen before in the areas that you live in. You ain't never, I guess they live over here. They don't look like normal. Like, where these people come from? Around noon, they already back in the house because they know they ain't trying to get hit with none of that lunchtime traffic crap. They ain't doing none of that. Around 1 p.m., 2 o'clock, they back out looking around for about another hour right before 3 p.m. That rush hour traffic started to kick in. They out, y'all. You see things that you can't unsee during these hours, y'all. And it's only a small wonder that you get to see it. It's almost unreal. The people in the stores even treat you different, especially if they see you, more than 2 or 3 times coming to the establishment, right? Doing work hours. They even treat you different. It's kind of interesting. Walmart is a little bit of a, I don't want to say too much about Walmart. Shout out to Walmart, but Walmart is a little bit of a hood, right? Not when you go to in the daytime. When you go on during the day, even when you go to the mall, and who goes to the mall anymore for real? But if you go to the mall, when the mall very first opened, 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning, and every now and then you go to the mall and people start to see you, people start to take notice. Isn't that interesting? That's very interesting. You want to know what else is funny? Your mindset just don't change, y'all, when you get out of your rat race. Your speech change. The way you speak about things change drastically. I'm going to give you a real example because it's just the right thing to do. When you see people that you believe are successful, the very first question most people ask, if they work in a 9 to 5, what type of job that person got? What type of work you think they do for a living? What type of job you got? What type of job they do? They work at the bank? Oh, that makes sense. It must be a big wig at the bank or something. That person, oh, he a doctor? Oh, that makes sense. He must work for Grady or Emory or Northside. People always ask, they have a job, when they see people that they deem successful, what type of job you got? Nobody ever says, what type of business do you run when they see successful people? I don't know what it is. It should be just common thought. If you see somebody that you deem successful, your first thought should be what type of business you got, not what type of job you got. Or maybe it's me. Maybe it's the way that I think about it, but that's all I ever hear. I had a guy when I was leaving a little full contact sport thing today. We kind of had a layoff day today. It was kind of fun, but it was layoff day today. Young man said, "Man, I be seeing you up here all the time, man." I said, "Yeah, man, I gotta come in here. I gotta stay right. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do this, gotta do that, blah, 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 blah." He said, "Man, what kind of job you have where you can be up here it seems like you can be up every day, but every time I'm up here, you up here, I work here." He worked there, right? I work here. I see you up here in the morning time. Does your job let you just roll how you roll and you can go to your job when you want to? I was like, job? I ain't got no job, man. I'm like Tommy from Martin, RIP to Tommy. I'm like Tommy from Martin, RIP to Tommy. I ain't got no job. You ain't got no job, man. Thank y'all. The sad part about this is the only thing that's holding you back from never having to ask, is it 5 o'clock yet? Is you. It is 100% without a doubt you. Anything that you can think of on the reasons why you're being held back from doing the things that you really want to do, I can promise you it's not something that's a real thing that's holding you back. I'll prove it right now. between the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 7 different live platforms that I'm on right now, right? If you haven't started the journey to get out of your rat race just as of yet, I want you to put in the chat what's holding you back from doing it. I don't care what you put on here. I can guarantee you it's not a real thing. I can guarantee you that. What's holding you back from getting out of your rat race? What's stopping you? I know the first thing that's going to pop up, fear. Well, we know fear ain't real, so let's keep going. And there it is, fear. I knew that was going to be the first thing that pop up, right? What rat race? I don't know. Your job. Your idea of what you got to be attached to, where you spend all your time to yourself. Maybe that's a real thing. Money. Sure, I guess. Time and money. Okay. Interesting concept. Not knowing the right people. Okay. Guess that's a real thing. That's a 100% real thing. If you hit the lottery right now for $500 million, $500 million right now today, if you hit the lottery for $500 million right now today, would that change your situation? Would you have more time? Definitely sound like you have more money. Would you be in fear? Would yourself be an issue at that point? If you hit the lottery for $500 million, I'm just asking, would that change how you feel about what's stopping you? Why? Why would that change anything at this point? Because anything that you're saying that's holding you back, it don't take $500 million to do it. It don't take $500 million to get more time. It don't take $500 million to have more money either, just for the sake of argument, right? It doesn't take $500 million for you not to hold yourself back. It don't take $500 million to get over no fear. It don't take $500 million to invest, to make any investment. Tell me what investment that you're trying to make right now that's holding you back takes $500 million. Go. Tell me what this investment is that you got to do that's going to take you $500 million to do it. In most cases, your investment won't even take you $500. In most cases, let alone 500 million. Think all these things that you would love to do if you had the courage, the time, the money, the information, whatever it is. It doesn't take all of these different things that you're asking for. None of it. In fact, if you was that person that really wanted to get out of your rat race, you really didn't want to do what you're doing right now because you want to do something different, you would be taking steps. And if you were taking steps already, you would 100% know without a doubt, money's not your issue. Time is not your issue either, because you make time for what it is you really want to do. So if time is your issue, it means that you really don't want to do what you're saying you want to do, because you make time for the things that you really want to do. It just is what it is. And if you're scared, go to church. You want to hear some scary stuff, go on up in there. If we're being honest, if we're going to take full accountability of what we want in our life and what we have and what we don't have, nothing's stopping you, y'all. Zero. If you are the one thing that's in the way of doing what you truly want to do, why wouldn't you just move yourself out of the way so you can go on and get what you need to get done, accomplished? If you needed more money to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish, why haven't you started to go get more money if that's what you think it is? Have you ever noticed people that have a second job always still be broke? They got a full-time job and a second job. Have you ever noticed the people that got two jobs, they always still be broke? I don't know if it's something psychologically that happens or what, but people that have, hey, I got a day job and I got a night job. How you always broke? Man, I don't know, man. I went and got a second job, man, because I needed more money. And when I got more money, I thought that was all my problem, and I need a third job. Wait a minute. You're going back. It seems like the more jobs you get, the worse off you're becoming. The math ain't mathing, y'all. When I was at Bank of America, y'all, I used to think the same way. So you're not alone. Again, we all can relate to each other. When I left Bank of America, it opened my eyes and I was upset at myself. I was 100% upset at myself. And the reason why I was upset at myself, I was upset because I realized I could have been did what I was embarking on doing. I could have been in this situation. I could have been changed my bloodline life. It didn't take all the money that I thought that I needed. It damn sure didn't take all the time. Think. And this stuff became really crazy. The more I kept taking these steps, the further I got on my journey, I kept saying to myself, man, this is crazy, man. Looking back on this stuff, man, instead of me getting a job, man, if I would have understood just these basic principles, yo, I could have been killed it. It would have been crazy. So when I hear people say, if you lost everything, what would you do differently? Like the same thing. Where would you start if you had to start all over? I start all over every single year. By December 31st, I go to zero. So I start over every year. But if you didn't have no capital to do things, what would you do? I don't have no capital. I don't have any money. Money, just like you. Money's not real. I'm going to say that on every live I get on until it clicks. Money is not supposed to be used personally. It is only supposed to be used for public use and private use. When you start to wrap your brain around that, your life will begin to change. Because the biggest excuse that most people have on why they haven't done the things they say they were supposed to be doing is because they ain't got no money. And what you don't realize, you will never have no money. You will never have any money. The people that you think got money ain't got money. Before Diddy got locked up, everybody said Diddy got all the money in the world. And when he decided to come up with this $50 million bail package, he had to leverage his homes because he didn't have $50 million. But nobody hears that. Nobody sees this stuff. Nobody understands. The dots ain't connecting. That's what's crazy, y'all. We know everything. We know I don't care who you talking to. You could be talking to your grandparents all the way down to the 3-year-old. Everybody know everything. But don't nobody know how to sidestep these little troubles that they say they're going through. And that's baffling to me. You mean to tell me you figured out how to get into that college that you went to? You figured out how to make sure your studies was on point so you can actually pass these different classes so you can get the degree that you wanted to get, so you can get out of school and finally get the job that you wanted. And once you got the job, you figured out how to get in the right position in that job by getting promoted and doing all these other things. But you smart and you know all this stuff, and you can't sidestep life that's been constantly repeating itself. All this stuff is a big circle, y'all. The same things that you're going through in your life, with a little small little variation, your parents went through. Your grandparents went through it. Your kids are going to go through these same things. Because you all are repeating each other's cycle, down to the point of something really crazy. You running around here overweight, talking about it's genetics. You big boned. I ain't never seen a big boned skeleton in my life. Ever. I ain't never seen a big bone skeleton in my life. It's genetics. You know, my family is big, so I'm big. When you were born, you was I ain't gonna say that. When you were born, you barely weighed enough for them to let you out the hospital. When you were born, you barely weighed enough for them to let you get out the hospital. If you eat the same stuff that your parents ate and your grandparents ate, what results you think you're gonna get? If you're not eating the same things that your parents ate or your grandparents ate, don't you think your body's gonna react different? When you were born, you weren't born with high blood pressure. You weren't born with it. Think. You weren't born with all these different things that you got today. You created it. Think. And it works the same way when you're talking about building generational wealth. Whatever you've seen your parents do, your grandparents do, you do the same things. Your parents had a job, you got a job. Your parents went to college, you went to college. Your parents in the military, chances are you're probably going to go to the military too. If your parents had their businesses and they were doing what they're doing, chances are you're going to start your business. If your parents were landowners, chances are you're going to do what you see. Imagine you saying it's genetics, right? About your weight. But your great grandparents were landowners. Why those genetics then passed down to you? Why those genetics then passed down to you? It was something in their brain genetically, I guess, that made them buy land. Why did those genetics not pass down to you? If you're going to claim genetics, at least claim it for the good side of the stuff that came down your bloodline. Not the horrible stuff that's taking you off this planet, making you miserable so you can't think. Think. You do what your parents did. Whatever you seen your parents do, ultimately, you're doing some variation of it. And it just is what it is. But as a grown adult, you have the ability to change these things. Can you start eating better? Sure. Can you start working out? Sure. Can you practice this thing that's being so overused right now, financial literacy? Sure. Could you look at history and see what they did back in the day and start mimicking those things? Nothing stops you. Nothing stops you from doing these things but you. But some got to give, y'all. You can't keep doing the same things expecting something different. Every day you get up and you go to work. And when you get to work, you're ready to leave. You're ready to bounce. Can't wait to 5 o'clock. Can't wait to Friday. Can't wait to payday. And they only paying you enough to come back the next day. Think. Well, the way that I talk about doing what I'm doing, yes, you're going to have a business. You're going to have a trust. You got to make it happen. Because if you don't have a business or businesses, or you don't have a trust or multiple trusts, how you going to operate in public and in private? There might be another way. I just don't know it. Haven't figured that out yet. If I do figure it out, trust me, I'm going to be sharing it with the people on the network, Zabo103tv.com, if I figure that out. But the only way I understand right now today that you can operate in public and in private, you got to have a business and you got to have a trust, minimally. It ain't no other way around it that I know of. If y'all know something different, y'all tell me. But I don't know nothing different. Everything different that I done heard people talk about, it involved them personally. And that's where they're going to run into an issue. Your job is you get money personally. I'm going to say that one more time. Your job is you get money personally. And that's kind of a scary thought. It's kind of a head scratcher when you look at it for real, just taking a couple steps back saying, whoa, okay. So the person that's going to get taxed the highest at every turn in life is the person that's earning that income, right? That's the person that's going to get taxed at the highest level, the person that's earning an income. He said, take money out of the equation. So when you take money out of the equation, let me ask you a question. What do you do for a living? You live in a free world. I think that's what you said. You took money out of the equation. What when you take the money out of the equation, like you said, what do you do? Are you putting your social security number on the back of your bill, sending it to the actual collector? Jack of all trades, don't tell me what you do. Tell us what you do. You said live in a free market, free world. Take money out of the equation. Jack of all trades. Nobody knows what that means. Okay. Well, if you're gonna speak in codes, I don't know how you think people are gonna do what you're asking if you're speaking in code. You gotta be willing to just share it. It shouldn't be a secret. Is it legal or is it illegal? Because if it's illegal, you're in the wrong line, family. We law-abiding citizens over here. If it's legal, share. We all would love to know how to do it. We all want to figure out how you're going to take money out of the equation, even though money ain't real anyway. We know that. So what I'm saying is, in a nutshell, is you got to stop operating personally, people. 100%. It has nothing to do with anything else. And I know that people are going to have all their other ways of all the different things you can do. And I'm always going to say the same thing, y'all. Tell them to show you. What I'm talking about, y'all, I show you. And the reason why I'm adamant about showing is not to prove anything. That's not the reason. I'm adamant about showing because I understand when I was in that situation of not knowing these things, I would hear people say all these things, and then I'd be in la la land looking for this stuff that ain't even existing no way. Because most people ain't doing what they say they're doing. That's the reason for the last 135 weeks I've been getting on these lives showing y'all. That's the reason why I started my own network, Zabo103tv.com, to show y'all. Not talking about it. I'm showing it to you in real time. And that's the part that becomes scary. That's the part that becomes like, whoa. He ain't just talking about this stuff. He doing it. Think about that. Not at this point, family. Think about that for a second. I need people. Well, I don't need people. You should want to never have to ask that question again. Real Mike, Larry, I think that's what it is. My thing is kind of got it blurred out. You should never want to ask another person that question again in life. Are you hiring? Ever. You should want to work for your last name. Period. Not your first. What does that mean? You should try to figure out how to connect the dots so you can work for your last name. That's what this stuff is ultimately about. The 99 employees that I have, I tell them every month, hey, what's next for y'all? What's next for y'all? I'm teaching y'all this. You're learning this. You're learning that. That's great. I like y'all working here for me, but I don't want y'all working for me forever. I want you to branch out and spread your wings and fly on your own. We can do business. Think. You have to use me for some foundation. Let me ask you a question. I want you to think about this for a second. I want you to think about this. Nobody on this planet is going to let you use them if they can't use you, right? I want to just make sure we all on the same page here. Nobody on this planet is going to let you use them if they can't use you, right? So you using me for different things. What do I get out of it? What do I get out of the scenario? I know I'm being humorous with you. I want you to understand something, because even though you're joking in this manner, which is cool, I want you to understand the thought process. Even though it was a joke, it was something that you thought about. And while you might be joking, there are a ton of people that believe that to be true. I had somebody send me a message on, I want to say Instagram, and ask me, would you be interested in mentoring me? I couldn't do that but laugh. Would I be interested in mentoring you? Wealthy people don't trade time for money, because time is the most valuable thing on this planet. So why would I give you my most valuable asset, my time, to help you get better? Without no benefit from my last name. And remember, I work for my last name and not my first. I encourage you to work for your last name and not your first. Say you guilty. And when you know. Think. When you start valuing your time that way, you will understand way better than anybody on this planet. That's all it's about. It ain't about anything else. It's about time. And you can insert anything you want to in and then say it's about time behind it and imagine how powerful that becomes. It's about time. You can insert anything you want behind it and watch how powerful it becomes. It's about time you start taking action. It's about time you started taking it serious what you want to do with your dreams. It's about time you stop playing around. Think about what I'm saying, y'all. It's all about time. This other stuff don't matter, y'all. It's not about money. It's not about happiness. And I know that's going to touch a nerve when I say this. I'm going to say this slowly. It's not about happiness. You go through that good book that we all be reading, or that we all say we claim we're a part of, and that's what we believe in. It don't mention happiness in no parts of that book. It talks about joy, but not happiness. Whatever your interpretation is, your interpretation. So we all on this planet going through life, doing what we're doing, trying to get what? Time with the people that we care about and love the most. Time building memories. Imagine you get time away from work. Think, y'all. It's bigger than all of these other things that you're thinking about. And when I decided to create the network, those are the things that I put in my head. How can I convey to people that it's not about money, it's truly about time? Well, tell me what barriers you have in the radio game. Like, what barriers do you really have? I want you to think about that for a second. Tell me one of the barriers that you have. If time is your complaint, you can do something about it. That's what's scary about this, y'all. Anything that you think is a struggle or it's an issue for you to make happen, you know that you can make these things happen. Nothing's off the table. Nothing, as long as it's legal. If it's not legal, you're not wasting your what? Time, because it's going to take time away from the people that you care about and love the most if you get caught. It's still about time. You having a hard time with your child support? I get it, family. You know, I get it, man. Your baby mama tripping, you paying this child support, and it's kicking your butt. How much time do you spend with your babies? I see people complain about child support all day. I'll never see these same grown men complain about visitation. The time spent is more important than the money. Well, you know, I get my kid. I still have to work. You telling me your job is more important than the time with your kid? When y'all was going through fight for custody, you wouldn't fight for full custody. You was just trying to keep your child support low. You should have been fighting for full custody and then make her pay child support. Well, the judge always favored the mama because the mama always willing to take the kid. Daddy still want to be free because he want his time to do whatever he want to do. It's always about time, y'all, even when it's in a selfish way. So take the time that you need to take to learn what you need to learn so you can start doing the things you need to do. There is no microwavable process in this situation, y'all. It's going to take time regardless if you do it today or you don't do it to next year. It's still going to take you time. Next year, if you start next year, it ain't going to make it no more faster. No matter when you start, it's still going to take time. You see some of the people growth, like how y'all look at me and say, well, you did it. How can I do this thing faster? There is no faster way. Well, let me take that back. There is a faster way. The fastest way for you to do it is to start. The faster you start, the faster it'll be. The faster you take steps, the faster it will be. I don't know how many other ways I need to explain it to you that money is not your issue. It's not capital. The fear ain't real. Money is not your issue. Information is your issue, and taking action with the information you get is your issue. We've talked about this process from being homeless. I don't know another way to explain it. I have no earthly idea on how to explain this stuff to make you see that it's not money. It ain't about you networking with a whole bunch of people either. It's about you working for the information. Appreciate your family. And once you find the information, take action with the information that you get. A couple of days ago, I asked people, name a book that changed your life. And everybody said, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I said, okay, if it changed your life, tell me how. And people started talking about it changed my mindset. It taught me this, it taught me that, it taught me this and taught me that. And then after I let that conversation die down a little bit, people still were asking me, well, how do I start to do all these things you're talking about? Where do I start if it ain't about money? But Rich Dad, Poor Dad changed your life. If it changed your life, why are you asking where you need to start? Because it did not change your life. There's only one book on this planet that can change your life forever. One. And nobody ain't took the time to read it. Because if you did, you would not be asking the question. It's one book. You can't get that book in Amazon. It's not at the library. It's not at the church. It ain't up there at your library if you got one in your house either. There's only one book. And there's only one way to access it too. And that's a scary thought. As a person I had got down to where I was like, before I started seeing these things, before everything clicked, I was one of the people like wealthy people say, you should read one book a week. And if you read one book a week, it's going to make you rich. You're going to become wealthy. I started trying to read one book a week. It didn't help at all. I had a bunch of useless information. A bunch of useless information that I ain't never did nothing with. I'm like, man, I got a library full of freaking books. And when all that stuff clicked for me, when none of it in none of those books. None of them. It was almost scary. I said, this is wild to me. And then I realized the person or the people that was pushing this read one book a week, they was in book sales. They were selling me products. It's the wildest thing. Okay, you are author. What if I'm an author and I'm selling books? What's the best way for me to sell to people? Tell them that wealthy people read one book a week. That'll make them buy my book. That'll make them buy all my books. People be sounding crazy. And I'm not, no disrespect to nobody, right? No disrespect to nobody, right? But we sound crazy because I was one of those people in that mix. Man, you got to read more books, man. If you read more books, you're going to be straight, man. Just read more books. And they in a worse situation, you're telling you this advice. They didn't told you to read more books, you're going to be all right. And then they ask you for a couple $100 so they can pay their light bill. The math ain't mathing, y'all. There's only one book, y'all. And there's only one way to access it. What time is it? It's 3:41 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's not 5 o'clock yet, so people ain't off work. Hopefully no one's driving. And if you're not driving right now, I'm about to show you how to access the book. The book is called Your Brain. The author of the book is called You. I think this is his last name. Y-U. I think it's a him or her. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it is a him or her. I'm not sure. The book is called Your Brain. They don't sell that book on Amazon. You can't Google it. You can't go to the library and get it. That's how powerful this book is, y'all. The scarier part about this book, you only got to read it for the first time. Once you read it that first time, it's game over. Things instantly start to click. That book changed my life forever. I can't even, and I done read so many books, man. The Intellectual Investor, 100% Accountability. I done read so many books, it don't even make no sense. That one book changed my life. And it changed everybody in my bloodline life forever too. Because they didn't have a choice but to read it. I told them they wanted to take this journey with me, they got to read that book. It's called Your Brain. Your Brain by, last name is You, Y-U. Somebody put it in chat. Everybody put it in chat. Your Brain. Your Brain. The author is You, Y-U. Now, even though the book ain't for sale, you can't get it at all. I'm going to show you how to get it. I'm going to show you how to get it right now on this live. If you're not driving and you're not operating no heavy equipment right now, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes. For 30 seconds, I want you to think about if you had all the resources on this planet that you needed, everything in the world, what would you do? Now open your eyes. You just accessed the book. The book is in your head. They say the average person don't even use 5% of their brain. Do you know what happens when you use 1% more of your brain power? I don't think people understand that. They say when you get to a certain level of brain power usage, you can start to see the future. That's a scary thought. Do I believe these things? 100%. Because I'm living it. I'm living it. If y'all been on, for the people that's been on my live for the last 135 weeks straight, y'all saw me say something in week 2 of my live, and you saw these things coming to fruition. And I'm not talking about manifesting things. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about thinking about what it is you want to do, dreaming about the wildest thing you can dream about. researching how to make those things happen, seeing if it's legal or illegal. If it's illegal, you got to scratch it off your list. If it's legal, taking action on it. Taking action on these things. How do you think these cats be in prison for 10, 15, 20, 30 years and then get out and go legit and become super successful? It don't be a lot of them. It'll be a handful of them. It'll be a handful of them, right? How they passed me and they just got out of prison? They must be doing something illegal. No, they doing something real. They doing something legit. Because when they were laying on their cot, they would say, what am I going to do when I get out of prison? When that cell door opened, they weren't getting out. They had two choices: go to the prison yard or the prison library. And they was choosing to go to the prison library to do research. So after they finished on their research, they come back to that cell and think about what they just read on the research they just got and think about what else they're going to do. The next day, they go back to the prison library, do some more research. And when that door opened for them to get out of prison, what they doing? Taking action. You ain't in prison. What's stopping you? What's stopping you from doing all these things? And whoever you pray to, whatever God or whoever you pray for, all respect to all, right? It is what it is. Whatever you believe is what you believe. But if your creator is your heavenly father, depending on what you believe in, if your creator is your heavenly father, that would means that your heavenly father blood runs through your blood, right? And if your heavenly father blood runs through your blood, I don't know, you can't claim genetics for your weight, but you can't claim genetics for being a creator. The math ain't mathing, y'all. You telling me that you big boned and big boned people running your family because of genetics, but you telling me your heavenly father, who was a creator of all these things, being a creator ain't in your genetics? Look at how we pick and choose. The math don't math, y'all. It ain't making logical sense to me. I don't believe it's genetics, no way, right? I don't. I don't believe that stuff, y'all. Not when it comes to being overweight. That doesn't make sense to me. But I do believe in genetics when it comes to my father being a creator. My heavenly father was a creator, right? My earthly father created me. I could have ended up on a napkin, if I'm being honest, right? So as my heavenly father created me, I don't know the Bible like the back of the hand like I should know it, right? But he says something about be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply. That's what he said, I guess. I don't know how I go. Y'all tell me how I go. Y'all know it better than me. Y'all the educated folks. I'm slow. He said, be fruitful and multiply. And whatever you create, you will have dominion over it, control over whatever you create. So you telling me you don't understand genetics in a way to be a creator, but you understand genetic for some hog maws, for some colics, for some fatbacks. That's what you telling me. The math ain't mathing, y'all. It don't make logical sense to me. And I could be off. I could be bugging. I could be tripping. But the math ain't mathing, y'all. Something's off. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's in the food. Maybe it's in the food. Maybe no, I get it. I know, ladies. I know, ladies. You might think this. Ladies have the issue with that stuff, and I don't want to target ladies. So let me help the fellas. Fellas think it's the police. Police ain't what's taking your life, y'all. Regular table salt is. Regular sugar is. But that's a different conversation. But he said, be fruitful and multiply. Whatever you create, you will have control over it, right? I got that part. So I create different businesses, I multiply them, and I got control over them, right? He didn't say you own them. He said you got control over it. I'm going to say that one more time just in case that went past you too fast. Be fruitful and multiply. Whatever you create, you'll have control over it. Not own, control. So I'm slow, right? I'm slow, right? So I took it as if I go and I create all these different businesses, I'll have control over them. That's how I took it. That's what I got from it. I didn't think control over people. I got kids that I train, sure, but I ain't got control over them. They're still people. They have the ability to do what they want to do. I'm controlling businesses. I'm controlling land. I'm controlling life insurance policy. If I'm being honest, like that's how I took it. And again, I'm slow, y'all. I barely got a high school diploma. I didn't go to college. Y'all smarter than me, but don't let your education stop your education. Just so we all on the same page. He also said something to effect of a wise man or a good man will leave an inheritance to his children's children. Wait, who the heck is he talking about? His children's children. So his children's children, right? That's already he's a granddaddy. He will leave an inheritance to his children's children. So it started my kids that I'm leaving an inheritance to. It started with my grandkid. His children's children, right? So that's where it started. His grandkids, his great grandkids, his great great grandkids. That's who I got to leave an inheritance to. I don't know all this stuff the way it said it, y'all. Y'all know it better than me, and I don't want to take y'all to through no religious, no Bible study or no religious class, anything like that. But I'm just asking the question because I could be tripping. He said, a wise man or something of that sort will leave an inheritance to his children's children. It sounds like you got to leave something for people in your bloodline that you ain't ever gonna meet. Unconditional love. You ain't ever meet your children's children. It ain't happening. Maybe it will. Maybe you might live to 200. I don't freaking know. You might be one of those people that Elon Musk and Donald Trump found on that list that was still getting Social Security that was 198 years old. You might be one of those people. That's why they ain't found y'all yet. They don't know that y'all 198 years old. Or maybe I'm tripping. The point that I'm making with all these different things, while you're trying to figure out if it's 5 o'clock yet, is it Friday 5 o'clock? Is it Friday midnight so I can get paid my paycheck deposit at that time? You're missing all of these different things that's in your face. Time is the key. When you have time with these processes that I'm talking about, you give your bloodline time. When you have time with these processes that I'm talking about, you give your bloodline time. That's really what you're here for. How do you make your children's life stress-free so they ain't got to go to work for nobody? so they can be pure. If they want to give, they can give as much as they want to give. If they just want to be around their family and just show love all the time, like that's what this stuff is about. I don't know what you mean. So if a business public / private, so a business is not public and private. A business is just public unless you make it private. A trust is just private. I don't know how you make it public. I get that some people say you get your business and you put your business out of a trust. Well, you just made a public business private. Okay, that's what you want to do. Go for it. Bank of America ain't private. It got some private sectors, but it's not private. It's public. Amazon ain't private. It got some private sectors, but it's public. Tesla ain't private. It's public. Think about what I'm saying. So in order for you to operate in private, you got to be operating in a trust. In order for you to be operating public, you got to be operating in a business. You get it? These are things that you have witnessed your whole life. When you go to the grocery store ain't private, because if it was private, you wouldn't know nothing about it. Well, it's a private store. How do you know about it? How do you know about it? If it's private, it's public. Think. So I think what it is, we got some new people up in here. Shout out to all my new people up in here for tapping in. If you're new to my live, it's your first time on live, put a 1 in the chat. What's up, Travis? How you feeling, family? What's the word? Every now and then I keep forgetting I got a camera up here too that I gotta look at. We got a bunch of new people up in here. Your account here on TikTok, 100%. It's public. You got it. We got a bunch of new people up in here. Jeez Louise. Okay. Well, I gotta hop on my own network at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. If you haven't subscribed yet, you definitely gonna want to. We're gonna continue going up. It's like Netflix. But I have the ability to go live on my own network. We're gonna work some stuff out. But nevertheless, I digress. So for all the people that's over here that's new to my platform, my people that's been around for a minute, most of y'all are already on my network. Shout out to y'all. We have our meeting, our live meeting at, I'm calling it a meeting, but our live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we got some other stuff to talk about tonight. So this right here is going to be pretty much for the new people that are joining the live. A lot of this stuff y'all done heard forever. As long as I've been going live, y'all done heard it. So for my new people that's on here, let's get into some basic things, especially for the people that say, hey, I'm starting from scratch. Okay. The first thing is you're not starting from scratch. You got to change your mindset. And you actually you're closer to where you think you are than what you know. And it's mainly because you didn't live life. And life has taught you these things, but you haven't paid attention. It just is what it is, right? So one of the things that you got to understand is, and I think people get confused sometimes when I say this, and that's why I probably say it so many times, money is not real. Not only is money not real, money is not yours. You don't have no money. I don't care if you say you got money in the bank. I don't care if you say you got money in the market and crypto. You don't have no money at all. You only holding money to give it back to the next person. And all money goes back to the original sender. And you're not the original sender. I'm not the original sender. None of us on this live platform, no matter what platform you're on, none of us are the original sender. Money is always going to go back to the original sender. Man, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I got my money in the savings account, man. I've been saving my money for 10 years. Who you saving it for? You're going to give it away. You're just holding it. Who you saving it for? I'm saving it for myself. For what? For a rainy day. Okay, what happens on this rainy day you're talking about? If I lose my job, I can pay my bills. So you're holding your money to pay bills. Your money to give it to the light company, the water company, the grocery store, the gas station. You're holding the money to give to all these different things, right? You only holding your money to give it to somebody else. It's a concept that you were taught by these financial institutions. But the only problem with that is no business is going to tell their customers what they do so they don't need to use them no more. Think. So if no business is going to tell their customer what exactly they doing anymore, why would a financial institution give you the best financial advice? You're their customer. I don't know how to make that more plain. You wouldn't do it. Why are you expecting the bank to do it? It don't even make logical sense. Imagine you put your money in cryptocurrency thinking that's the answer. Again, if you put your money into cryptocurrency, you're their customer. They're not going to give you the best financial advice. It just is what it is. I put my money in crypto, man. That's the way to go. That's where the money going. Why would they give you the best financial advice? You're their customer. Think. That's what it boils down to, y'all. Okay, let me make it more plain. What's the guy name that came up with cryptocurrency? What's that guy name? Anybody know that guy name? It was a guy. I remember. I can't remember his name. But what's the guy name that came up with cryptocurrency? What is that cat name? Somebody help me out. I cannot think of his name. That is crazy. My cryptocurrency family, y'all be up in here. So y'all tell me, cryptocurrency family. There you go. Appreciate you, CG. That's the guy that I was talking about, right? I think the reason why I forgot his name is because they said he's missing. I'm going to try to say that again slowly. The reason why I forgot his name is because they said he missing. They ain't say he's not on this planet no more. He's unalive, none of that. They say he's missing. Where did he go? So he gave you all the advice to tell you that cryptocurrency is going to be the way, and he missing? The math ain't mathing, y'all. Something ain't right. And somehow everybody then bought into it. And it might be the next wave. I don't freaking know. They said he missing. There was a photo of him, but ain't nobody seen him. They still looking for him. Missing. I just heard Donald Trump that said a couple weeks ago that he's going to make cryptocurrency where you're going to be trading it, but it's going to be traded through America. Did y'all hear that, or was it just me? So if you don't think the bank is good, but you think cryptocurrency is better, just like you can't find the person that started crypto because he's missing, you can't tell me who the owner of Bank of America is. You can't tell me who the owner of Wells Fargo is. It's the shareholders. I need y'all to think. Or maybe I'm making all this stuff up. I'm tripping. The math ain't mathing, y'all. The math ain't mathing. Made you quite a bit of money? I'm with you. What is quite a bit of money? Give me a number. Any number. What's quite a bit of money that it made you? Did it make you enough money to where you can retire from your job? Did it make you enough money where you can retire your spouse? Did it make you enough money to where your kids will never have to work a day ever again in your life? Think, y'all. Think. Money is not real. It's never been real, y'all. You're only trying to make enough money to get to the next season because that's the bartering tool that we use today. Remember, we were using donkeys. We were using gold and silver. We was using eggs and milk, and we were using all other type of stuff back in the day. It ain't real, y'all. The money that you have is only supposed to be used for public use and private use. That was the instructions that you were given when you were given the money. When you got your direct deposit, when you got your money, the instructions that you were given, it was supposed to be used for public use and private use. Somehow, people have said, we're going to use it personally. And I think that's because these financial institutions told you to use it personally so they can capture it to trade it for things that really matter. Okay, let me give you an example. The banks told y'all to save y'all money, right? The financial institution told you to save your money, right? I want to make sure we all on the same page. Put a 1 in the chat if you've heard the banks tell you to save your money. Save it for a rainy day. Diversify your portfolio, right? All these different products and different things that you're buying. You're in the stock market, homes, cars, clothes. The bank told you to diversify your portfolio, so all the things that you say you want and need, all those things. Where did the bank tell you to save their money at? Did they tell you to save it up under your mattress? They tell you to put it in your shoe? Did they tell you to put it in your ceiling, in your walls? Where did the bank tell you to put your money? Would you imagine that the bank told you to put your money in the bank? As their customer, put your money in the bank. Right? Okay, that's cool. I can respect it. So if you put all your money in the bank, why when you go and try to get all your money from the bank, I want all my cash back, why the bank tells you they don't have that type of money here? They don't have no money. I don't have, you got to order that. What do you mean I got to order it? Y'all didn't order it when y'all asked for it, when y'all sold me the idea of all these different things. Y'all didn't tell me nothing about it was gonna take 14 days for me to get my cash back. And then y'all telling me to put my money in the bank, and y'all don't even put y'all money in the bank. Math don't math, y'all. Why would they tell you what they doing with their money, y'all? You're their customer. But maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm making this stuff up. Imagine you were told to buy Bitcoin because eventually it's going to go to $1 million, right? And it's going to take you 5, 10, 15 years, whatever it takes for it to get to $1 million. And then you're going to take your $1 million. You done made $900,000 off of your $100,000 investment on one Bitcoin. And once you get to that $900,000, when you take it out, it's going to get taxed like crazy. So 50% of your $1 million is gone on $900,000. $449,000 is gone. Meanwhile, over this time frame, while my money's sitting in that account, I'm getting older, different things could transpire. You created a social media account and you can't even remember your password to get in. You got a social media account that you don't go on all the time. It ain't saved in your phone or your computer, and you don't remember the password. What if you forget the password of your wallet? Can you call customer service to reset it? Can you go online to try to reset your password? It don't make sense. Well, you can do a different type of wallet and you'll be straight, family. Get you a cold one or something. I don't know. You can have all these other different things out there that you got to remember. Or you can do what the banks do. Or you can do what the wealthy people really do. There's a difference. The bank ain't trading money in for gold and silver. We don't use gold and silver as a bartering system anymore, y'all. Wake up. The bank ain't trading their money in for cryptocurrency. It's just another digital currency. They already got that. The best one in the world. Think. Nobody hears that. No one hears that. The bank trade their money in for land because they know land is the only thing on this planet that only goes up in value and don't go up and down. Plus, you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. The bank trade their money for insurance policies. They trade them for insurance policies. Your cash that's been direct deposit, they lend it out left and right. And all the excess of it that comes through, they trade it for policies and lands. And they know they're going to win every single time. It is the only two things that I can go where you're going to get almost a guaranteed return on investment on your life insurance policy, 100%. And you're going to get a 100% return on your investment on land. I don't know what'll be up with folks. What's going on here? Why are they doing that? What is that about? That's weird. So you're asking for names in here? Come on, user. What's going on with you? You're a robot or something? I don't know what's happening. It's kind of weird. You thought we having some weird trolls, man. None of it's real, y'all. And again, every time you get money, you're told this. Every time you get money, you're told these things. How do you make money owning land? That's a really good question. Let's explore it. Just a couple of things. I think it's about two, family. Let's explore how do you make money on land. It is 4:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. By now, from the East Coast to the West Coast, everybody went to lunch, right? I want you to put in the chat what you had for lunch today. Go. You just had a coffee? That's okay. You just clocked in. Shout out to that. You eat lunch today? Chicken, Chipotle. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. Steaks. You were eating good for lunchtime. Chicken. A lot of people eating chicken these days. Salmon. Okay. Fish. Salad. Fruit. Okay. A smoothie. Okay. Okay. You went to Culver's? Okay. A chicken fried steak. Y'all over here doing it. You skipped lunch? I know that's right. Fasting is a real thing. Fish and grits and eggs. Foo-foo. You had some foo-foo, some dragon fruit, some strawberry. Ginger Cafe, Hawaiian barbecue. Where you get that from, Bobby? I need to tap in with you on that one, family. Some collard green and salmon. You went fried rice. So your question to me is how do you make money owning land? Everything that y'all name right now came from the land. Everything. But not just everything that you ate today came from the land. The establishment that you actually went into came from the land. The clothes that you got on your back came from the land. The antifreezer in your vehicle came from the land. The refined sugar that you had came from the land. The tires on your vehicle to get you to work today came from your land. Everything goes back to the land, including you. Think about what I just said. So how do you make money on the land? Where do you think they're getting all this stuff from, y'all? Where do you think they're getting all this stuff from? Landowners. But if I need to be a little bit more extreme, most people think when you say you're a landowner, they think that you got some rental properties, right? You're a landlord. Well, landlord just don't mean you rent a house, you rent an apartment to somebody. It doesn't mean that. Do you understand right now today, you're on a cell phone right now today that's connecting to a cell phone tower that a landowner leased their land to. And whoever owns that cell phone towers is paying that landowner or that landlord a rental lease fee for you to be connected. Do you understand how much money people make off of solar panel farms? You know the timber company will give you $4,000 an acre to come and cut your timber. If you got some Georgia yellow pine straw on your land, that's big money. I found that out with them 41 and a half acres of land. The land with this on it that I can't even mention, you have no clue. But I could go get me, I don't know, a pound of t-shirt for 30 cents. It's about 10 t-shirts. That's a different conversation. And I don't want to get kicked off these platforms because I'm just showing love. If you had your daily bowel movement today and you in America, you don't have no bidet in your house. You wiped your butt with some toilet tissue. Toilet tissue is made out of mixed wood pulp and virgin wood pulp, boys and girls. Trees. That comes from landowners. So when you ask, how do you make money off of land? The list goes on and on and on. Chipotle don't own the land over there. Chipotle lease the building and the land. I can keep going. It just seemed like the right thing to do. And they ain't making no more of it, y'all. They're not making no more of it. So once you actually join, you're going to have a couple of sections in there. You're going to have a section on the network where it's going to say Zabo 103 TV live access. That's for when I go live. I'll be live tonight at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the network. So definitely tap in tonight. The section the Zabo 103 TV access. That's going to show you all the pre-recording shows stuff on there. So you better binge watch all them shows that's over there. And new shows come out every week. And it's a community over there. I don't think people really understand the community thing because once you click on the little hamburger thing, the little lines over there, it'll take you to the community and you can post, comment, and do all that stuff over there. But it ain't real active over there. And I think it's because of how it's tag on the website. So I'm gonna have to probably figure out how to put that more visible so people can start getting active over in the community. But yeah, I appreciate you, family, for sure. Everything goes back to the land, y'all. I can't even make it up if I wanted to. It's almost scary. And think about this. The land ain't going nowhere. It ain't going nowhere. So still prayers out to the people in California that lost their homes. Their homes burnt to the ground. The only thing that was left of those people's homes were the ashes on the ground. Think about what I'm saying. Everything burnt to the ground. Those survivors of Hurricane Katrina, the last hurricane we had that went through Alabama, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, some parts of Georgia, these homes got flooded. When all it was said and done, the only thing that was left out there was the ground. The ground. That was the only thing that was left, y'all. The ground. Think about that for a second. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street. It did burn to the ground too, didn't it? Those people out there in Tulsa, Oklahoma, they had it all the way right except for one thing. They didn't take the steps to own the land. They got backed by insurance companies, which ain't always a bad thing. They got backed by financial institutions to start their own banks and stuff like that. Everything got burnt to the ground, y'all. Black Wall Street was 40 acres of land. 40. A little bit over 1 nope, it was actually a bit less. 1.79 million acres of land. 1.79 million acres of land. Almost 1.8. Almost. September last year of 2023, me and my wife bought 41 and a half acres of land cash, over 1.836 million square foot of land. And we paid cash for it. It went our cash because we ain't got no money. Think about what I just said. It all goes back to the land, y'all. Nothing more, nothing less. So you got to start connecting the dots on these different things, because once you start connecting the dots on these different things, you're going to start to realize you're being influenced to do different things with your money personally. You're never going to get influenced to do things with your money publicly or privately. You always going to get influenced to do things with your money personally. Imagine that. And if you use money personally, you're going to struggle. If you use money personally, you're going to struggle. That's mind blowing when you really think about it. But if you use money publicly or privately, you have no reason to struggle, because when you have time to be away from things and you get used to not having that thing that you said you need to have, the longer you spend more time away from it, the more comfortable you get without having it. And the more comfortable you get without having it, the more of a realization you'll understand that you never missed it. You never missed it. You can't miss it ever at that point. because you don't have it, you haven't had it, and you've been able to live without it. That's a different way to play the game. Man, you need money personally. I don't know what you're talking about, family. You got to have money personally no matter what you do, man. If you ain't got money personally, man, you're screwed. So I got a question. Maybe I should have blew that out over there. I got a question for you. What do you use money personally for? What do you use money personally for? I'm curious. You said for my network, Zabo 103 TV. I will hope you're not using money personally for my network. If you're using money personally for Zabo103TV.com, my network, that means you weren't paying attention. That platform, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a wealth manager. It is for educational purposes and information purposes only. You should always consult your financial advisor or wealth manager. So being it is for educational purposes and information only, you should not be doing this from a personal standpoint. You should be doing this from a business standpoint. And if it's from a business standpoint, you operate in public, which makes it a business expense. Less money you're giving to Uncle Sam. Food. Nope. Daily expense. Nope. How are you using money? How do you have a business? Okay. All right. Let's make this. I'm gonna make this more simple than I ever made it before. If you got a small business that you have, say you got your LLC, you got your corporation, you got your FLP, whatever it is you got, right? Let's say you got a small business, but you're not conducting business yet. You're about to, but you're not, right? If you got a small business, put a 1 in the chat. I want to see something. I'm just curious. If you got a small business, put a 1 in the chat. Okay. Everybody on here, for the most part, got a small business. I hope this helps you connect the dots, right? If you got a small business, and let's just say you don't have a tax attorney, a CPA, none of those things, right? You go to H&R Block to file your taxes, right? I want to make sure we're on the same page. The low-hanging fruit in this situation is, if you haven't asked this question or you don't know this already, it's okay. We'll try to go here. It is what it is, because I want to make this make sense. If you go to TurboTax, whatever, right? You can read up on a section where they're on your small business, even to go to the irs.gov and look this stuff up. So y'all know I'm not making this up. As a small business owner, if you're conducting business, you can buy lunch for your employees, maybe for a client or whatever, right? If you've heard of that before and you know that to be true, you've used that yourself, put a 2 in the chat. Maybe I'm bugging. I'm gonna give y'all a second. So people done done that before, right? So if I am a small business owner and I can buy my employee food and I can buy a client a meal, why would food be personal and not public, aka a business expense? Because if you're going out for food and you're conducting business and you are an employee of your business, the food will become a business expense, right? You didn't need a CPA or tax attorney to tell you that. You didn't need me to tell you that. You already knew. So you telling me you're not just eating during business hours, You're eating all day, but you're not. So all day long, you have a daytime, a nighttime, and you got this small business. It's not off the ground at all, and you're buying yourself food. And you say you're taking it off of personal. Are you not working your business all day and all night to get it off the ground? As an employee of your business, the only employee, you're not working day in, day out. You can't work and do your business during the daytime hours. Why? Because you at work. But when you go on break at work, when you go on lunch at work, you go and conduct business for those little time frames, right? Maybe your 15-minute break, you got to go make a couple phone calls to conduct business. Maybe your lunch, you got to work in lunch because you're conducting business. So maybe you're doing business during lunch. I'm going to have to eat while I'm conducting business. So how are you using money personally? Why are you leaving that money on the table, giving it to Uncle Sam, when Uncle Sam, your business partner, has told you you can buy your employee a meal? Not a meal, food. Or maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm bugging. That's not a secret, y'all. You around here telling people these things. So why you think you need money personally for food? And if you're using money personally for everything, woof, you in trouble. How often? How often do you conduct business? You can buy your employee breakfast, lunch, and dinner if you wanted to. You can buy your employee breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You don't stop being an employee when you're self-employed. When your eyes are open and you are a business owner and you ain't on your job working, what are you doing? You're conducting business because you're trying to get this business to pop so you can leave that job. So you might be up. You might get out work 8 to 5. You get off at 5 o'clock. You on your phone, speakerphone in the car, Ryan, conducting business, trying to get that last little hour out the way. When you get home, guess what you're doing? You're going to clean up a little bit. Then guess what you're doing as you get everybody situated? You're going back to doing your little small business, right? You conducting business. It ain't a certain amount of hours. It ain't a certain amount of food you can buy for your employees. Ain't no real limit. Only limit out there is the limit that you put on it. Think. It ain't nowhere on the IRS.gov to say you only can spend this amount in food. It ain't nowhere on the map to say it only got to be breakfast. Breakfast was a marketing strategy to sell you food. They told you that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Breakfast don't mean you eat in the morning. Breakfast is just when you break your fast. You get it? Same thing with lunch. Same thing with dinner. The IRS ain't calling it breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It says you can buy food for your employee. Everybody else came up with all these other interpretations of everything else, reading into it. What they really meant was this. What they really mean by this is this. No, they said what they meant, and they meant what they said. You made it all this other stuff. And all this stuff going hand in hand. Imagine the food that you put in your body is making you sick. And you got nutritionists coming out and doctors coming out telling you you got to eat 3 meals a day and 3 snacks a day. But the food and the snacks that you put in your body is what's causing your illness. Think about what I just said. is causing your illness. But you want to put 6 meals a day in you? Every time you actually eat a meal, you're supposed to have a bowel movement. I'm going to say that one more time for the person all the way in the back. Every time you eat a meal, you're supposed to have a bowel movement. You barely having one bowel movement a day. That means you having 5 bowel movements backed up into you and you calling it genetics. No, you got all these meals backed up into you. If you having one bowel movement a day and you eat 6 times in a day, in a week, you got 35 bowel movements back in you. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. And all of it's working hand to hand. The food is the problem. You're taking it personal, right? So you're using your money personally to buy food. Doesn't make sense, but okay, I get it. You done bought these 6 meals because the doctor done told you you should have 6 meals a day. All the food you're getting is bad for you. I don't care if you are carnivore. I don't care if you're a vegetarian, a pescatarian, whatever you are, it's all bad. Because you ain't growing none of it. You don't know what's in it. It's all bad. So now you got these 6 meals that got to go in you. You going to the gym because you told to go to the gym, another product that they done sold to you. Now you packing muscle on top of fat, and you wondering why when you stop going to the gym, all your muscle turn to fat. Is because you packing muscle on top of fat, and you still getting all these different sicknesses. So now you done went to the doctor. The doctor ain't really in your best interest. They just gonna pump you with medicine so that they can help the other company that's selling the medicine to the doctor. It's almost like, ladies, I know y'all can relate this, right? You go to your hairstylist, right? And your hairstylist happen to sell hair. So your hairstylist tell you, you don't have to buy no hair. I actually sell hair too, and the hair that's going to be good for you. And they tell you all the reason why the hair that they got is better for you. When the hair that they got, it ain't better for you. It's just the hair that they selling to you. Think. All of this stuff is connected, y'all. All of this stuff is put in front of you for consumership. So the IRS is like, well, we're going to do this because we want our money too, but we're your business partners. And being with your business partner, whenever your business earns an income, we want to cut. Depending on how much money your business income comes to, we want a percentage based off of that income. Anything that's not income, we good business partners. We don't want no piece of it if it ain't no income. We only want a part of the profits. The income, people. That's it. So just so we all on the same page, you can buy food for your employees because they're gonna need energy so they can keep working. So you can buy food for your employees. That's a business expense. You can take business trips to handle business. And if you take a flight, your car rental, the hotel, and the food while you're on that business trip, we won't count that as income. Think about what I'm saying. You can't have a taxable event in your trust if your trust does earn an income. So if you got a business and you put it inside your trust, if that business earning income inside of your trust, it's going to become a taxable event. So if the IRS is giving you all of these things that they're saying these are business expenses, this is not income, why are you making it personal? Why are you making it personal? They telling you all these different things that's a business expense and you making it personal. They even giving you write-offs outside of The business expenses. If you purchase a vehicle that weighs over 6,000 pounds, used 100% for business, we will allow you to write the 100% of it off for whatever you paid on that full physical year. We'll let you write 100% of it off. Tax code 179. But you're running around saying a vehicle is a depreciating asset. It is, but you still got one. Why would you take advantage of what your business partners is giving you? Like the math ain't mathing, y'all. So when you say you use money personally for everything, I'd be curious, what are you talking about? Have you explored all the things in your business? Your business need all these things. All of these things you didn't need, your business need it. And if your business don't need it, I'm sure your trust need it. Your trust in most cases, your trust in most cases is going to be money taxed. So there's no need for it to get taxed again. You get it? Now there are some caveats. If your trust is an employee, somehow you make that work. There are ways, maybe. Right? I lagged. That's because I don't know, maybe one of my kids just pulled up. You know, I got Bluetooth everywhere, y'all. Let me know if we okay on TikTok. I think everywhere else should be good. I think my Bluetooth connected somewhere else. TikTok, y'all good over there? Y'all can hear me. If y'all can't, let me know. Let me see something real quick. Y'all can hear me? I connected to a Bluetooth. That's all it was. So when you say you need money purse for everything, what I'm asking is, what is everything? What does that mean? What does that really mean when you say you need money personally for everything? Because the reality of it is, you ain't explored what they're giving you over there, your business partner called the IRS. You ain't explored all the stuff over there. You couldn't have. You don't eat when you're not working. You only eat food so you have the energy to work. Right? What other reason are you eating? You eating for fun? That's where that genetics talks again. I eat for fun. I just love this so much, so I have to eat for fun. That ain't how it works, y'all. You don't see wealthy people eat. It don't mean they don't eat, but you don't see them eat. You ain't seen it. You ain't seen the people that's building wealth on their journey sit and eat. You ain't seen it. You see people that they call rich eat. You ain't seen wealthy people eat. They don't look at food the same way the rest of the world look at food. They look at food as a baseline to put something in their body when they're a little bit low on energy and move. Say drink coffee all day. You don't see wealthy people drinking coffee all day. Name a wealthy person you saw drinking coffee. Go. You ain't never seen a wealthy person drink no coffee. Nope. It ain't happened. I promise you it didn't happen. Yes, it did. You've seen Elon Musk drink coffee before? Has Elon Musk had wealth in his family for over 200 years? Over 100 years. Has the person you saw drink coffee had wealth in a family over 100 years? think. So what's the point that I'm making? The point that I'm making here is that wealth is not money, wealth is time. The point that I'm making here is you don't have an excuse to be in between blessings the way you in between blessings. The point that I'm making is if you sick and tired of being in your rat race, always asking, is it 5 o'clock yet? And it still ain't 5 o'clock yet, by the way. We at 4:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't have an excuse to be begging for it to be 5 o'clock. All these things that you want to accomplish in your life can be accomplished within a blink of an eye. Is hustling land a gimmick? I don't even know what that means. What does it mean when you say hustling land? What does that mean? How does one hustle land? I'm curious because I don't know. You blinking now? Okay, I get it. Buy and sell? Well, I guess it is a gimmick if you're buying and selling, if that's what you're doing it for. I mean, it's a way for you to generate some little money, I guess, to get to the place that you want to get. But real landowners know you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. Landowners know you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. As a person that owns 347 and a half acres of land, no loan, I know that you make money not when you sell it. So when you say hustling land, it's kind of like, huh? It doesn't click for me. I don't get it. Because you're buying the land to make money. You're not selling it to make money. Think about what's happening, right? Let's say you buy a piece of land for 20 grand and then you sell it for 50 grand. You made technically what, 50 grand? Made 30 grand, right? You made 30 grand, right? Makes sense. But you're gonna get taxed on that 30 grand. So you really ain't making 30 grand. You're really gonna make about 21, 22 grand, maybe. You build on top of the land. What are you building on top of the land? Tell me what you're building. I mean, you can build some rental properties. That's what people think, right? Which is still a good way to make money. You can build some gas stations. You know, with the egg prices going as high as they done been, people like, companies like Purdue Chicken, they're looking for landowners that they can lease their land from to house their chicken coops. You know, you can do a lifetime lease with Walmart on your land and never build nothing. You know, you can lease your land to the airport. I don't think people understand. I don't think people get it. Back in 2023, I think it was the end of 2023. It was the end of 2020. I think it was the end of 2023. Me and my wife, we went to this close friend to the family who's had wealth in his family for over 400 years that don't look like me. He invited me and my beautiful wife to this little meeting. They had 25 other landowners there. And these cats were like, majority of them didn't look like me. But there was a few in there that could have been my grandfather. But we weren't related, right? And these cats own hundreds and thousands of acres of land, like hundreds of thousands of acres. It was scary. We spent 3 hours talking about livestock. I barely know. I know a little bit about livestock now. When I went to that meeting, I ain't know nothing about livestock other than you got some cows, you better eat them. You got some goat meat is good too. We spent 3 hours talking about livestock. These cats was in there talking about how they were making $500,000 a day, one stream of income. $500,000 a day. That was wild to me, y'all. That was like earth. Like I couldn't wrap my brain around that stuff. I just couldn't. And it's still almost baffling to think about it. But I never thought I would meet somebody that owns hundreds of thousands of acres of land either. Because I didn't think it was a real thing. I thought Bill Gates was the largest landowner in America of farmland. That's what I thought at 269,000 acres of land. I didn't know that Ted Turner owns 2 million acres of land and over half of it is farmland. I didn't know that. I didn't know the Malone's family had 2.6 million acres of land. Bill Gates. I couldn't wrap my brain around this stuff. This stuff was wild to me, y'all. So what I'm explaining is it's not a hustle. It's not a gimmick. What I'm explaining to you is, how can I say this? I'm sharing something with you that allowed me to retire my wife, to retire myself, and to retire 25 other family members. And I know you ain't never heard this stuff before. Because that's not the game that the world plays. They don't share this information. They don't talk about this information. They tell you other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Man, you can't make no money in flood zones. Florida is a flood zone. Jamaica is a flood zone. Hawaii is a flood zone. Turks and Caicos is a flood zone. Barbados is a flood zone. All those people in California lost their homes burnt to the ground. And there's this couple billionaire out there that owns 60% of the water source in California, being that the governor of California did not want to pay that bill, get into bed with them and do business with them. That couple let all them people homes burn to the ground. You cannot use our water. Not to fight no fire when y'all could have partnered with us and paid that tax that we told y'all to pay. So since y'all didn't want to pay that tax, look at what y'all going through. This is crazy. They own 60% of the water source. They also own Fiji Water, Palm. I can keep going. But more important than all of these things, Fiji Water, 60% of the water source, they are 50% of the land ownership in California. But you don't hear that. You can't wrap your brain around that because you haven't been taught that at all. And it's sad because it's like that's a big world out here, y'all. So let's dig into it. I'm about to get ready to get off. It's almost 5 o'clock. I'm gonna stay on a little bit beyond 5 o'clock tonight. Again, the live tonight on my own network is gonna be at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you haven't tapped into Zabo103TV.com, the link is in the bio. Definitely get over there and subscribe because we're going up tonight. But like I promised y'all, and I told y'all, whenever I get back on these social media platforms and go live, I'm always gonna go through a scenario because I think realistically, the biggest thing out of all of this stuff I'm saying is all well, good, and fine. But if you don't know how to do this stuff, then what's the point? Because that's what everybody that's new to my live trying to figure out. The first step, obviously, simple, y'all. Join Zabo103TV.com. I just don't talk about how you do this stuff. I actually do this stuff in real life. I know a lot of people get on social media and just be talking. but I actually do this stuff in real life. Every day, all day. TikTok, it's Instagram. My Instagram doing something weird. So y'all kind of, I hope y'all can check out what it is. But nevertheless, I digress. So first up, obviously, join Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. Again, we're going up again tonight live on the network at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to that. All right. The next thing is, if you're new to my live and you're trying to figure out how to do this stuff, put a 1 in the chat. For all my day one people, this stuff really ain't for y'all at this point, because even though repeating this stuff over and over again, something different gonna click every single time. The new people, that's what it's for. The people that's been here a while, I appreciate y'all tapping in. But if y'all ain't joining the network, get your butt over there and join. Like, that's what we go. That's what we're doing a lot of the moving forward at. On the social media, we can't really move too forward because I always get suspended when we go too far. And I ain't messing with them like that. All right, so we got some ones up in there. First thing first, right? First thing first, you need to understand. I appreciate you too, family. First thing first, I always have to start with step one. We didn't talk about joining Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. For those people that are new to the live, what I am going to do right now, my network, it is $12.99 a month. It's $12.99 a month. What I'm going to do for the new people that's on the live right now, I'm going to give you a return on your investment even before you actually join. I think that's fair. As a person that lost $90,000 to a coach, I understand all the different courses I done bought, all the mentorship I done did, all of the coaching I done got. I understand how it feels 100% not to get a return on your investment. In fact, everything that I done ever did in my life, no matter what it's been, I ain't never get no return on my investment, ever. And it could be because I didn't apply myself, maybe. So what I'm going to do right now, before you even join the network, I'm going to give you a return on your investment before you join. The first thing that you got to understand is simply this. You operate in public and in private. You're not operating in personal. So for the course, for business, for whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to operate in public and in private. Those are the only two ways you operate. It ain't personal. It's just business. Okay? If you operate in public and you're purchasing a network, it is a business expense. Don't be lost. If you sell clothing, you might want to be paying attention. Okay? It's a business expense. I don't know another way to tell you that. So let's get into it. Get your pen, get your pad, screen record. I don't freaking care. Whatever you want to do. First thing first, you got to identify the people that you say you care about and love the most. That's step one. I'm going to say that again. You have to identify the people that you say you care about and love the most. And once you identify those people, you have to show them unconditional love, because this journey is not about you. It's about people in your bloodline that you're not going to meet. I will hope that they stick around, because the information that I'm about to give them, if they think about it, research, and take action on it, it will change their life forever. I know it would change their life because it changed mine. So you're going to provide unconditional love to the people that you say you care about and love the most. The second thing, we've been talking about it majority of this live. Money is not real. Money is only supposed to be used for public use and private use. I'll go through a quick exercise because we haven't done it just yet. We have talked about the public use and private use of money for the most part, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper before I get through this scenario. If you have cash that you can pull out, I wish I had some cash in here, but I don't. If you have some cash you can pull it out right now. If you got some cash you can pull it out right now. I'm not going to send around no collection plate. Don't worry. Once you get some cash in your hand, I want you to put a 7 in the chat. Once you get some cash in your hand, put a 7 in the chat. I just need some people on each of these platforms to keep me honest. Y'all, so y'all know I'm making up. Appreciate you. That I should have changed my shirt. Cool. We got any ones over there on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform we got on here. We need some 7s over there so we can have somebody keep me honest. What's up, DJ? Appreciate you, family. All right, we're good over there. All right. Well, we don't got 7s at. I know what you meant, OJ. You good. Wherever we don't have 7s at, it's okay. Y'all gonna have to trust these other platforms that put the 7s up. Appreciate you, sweet and low. Appreciate you, family. I want y'all to look at the back of that money. But keep me honest. On the back of your money, you should see something that says the United States of America. At the very top, on the back of your money, you should see something that says the United States of America. If you see the United States of America on the back of your money at the very top, put an 8 in the chat. Put an 8 in the chat on the back of your money if you see the United States of America at the very top on the back. I just want to make sure y'all keeping me honest, just for the sake of argument, okay? The United States of America is a business, y'all. I don't know. I can't make that more easily said than what it is. It is a business. The United States of America is a business. It's a public business. It's not a country. I know you think you live in a country. The United States of America is a public business. The reason why I know it's a business and not a country, countries have kings and queens. Businesses have presidents and vice presidents like your job. I'm going to say that one more time so you can catch it. Countries have kings and queens. Businesses have presidents and vice presidents just like your job. I don't know how to make that more simpler than what it is. So if you caught it, you caught it. If you didn't, it wasn't a secret. It's there. And it's on the back of your money. Not really advice right now. If you're on my network, Zabo103tv.com, if you subscribe to it, when we have the live in about an hour and 30 minutes, you'll be able to ask that question at that point. I'll be able to dive into it, but I can't really go away from this scenario I'm going through right now. Sorry about that. But we don't have any kings and queens in this place called the United States of America. We have presidents and vice presidents, just like your job. Okay? Appreciate you, family. Below the United States of America, you should see something that says, "In God We Trust." If you see "In God We Trust" below the United States of America on your money, put the number 9 in the chat. If you see the United States of America at the top, you should see something that says "In God We Trust" right below. Put a 9 in the chat. Okay? Y'all see that, right? I'm not tripping. I was told that "In God We Trust" is the name of the United States of America's trust. If that's true, we all know a trust is private. I don't think I got to explain that. If it's public, it goes into business. If it's private, it goes into trust. It's on your money. Now, I know that's a bit of a stretch, so let me clear it up a little bit further. Turn your money around to the front. Look for the fine print. You should see something that says, "This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private." I'm going to read that again without looking at it. This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It didn't say anything about personal. It said the note that's in your hand is a legal tender for all debts, public and private. Nothing about personal. And it's been on your money the whole time. If it's public, it goes into business. If it's private, it goes into trust. So when you think that you're using money personally, you're not following the instructions that's on your money. Forget what I'm talking about. It's on your money. If you see that on your money, let's go back down. Put a 3 in the chat. If you see that on your money, put a 3 in the chat. I just want to make sure I'm not tripping. If y'all don't see it, you don't see it. I don't know. Maybe my money different from y'all money. I don't freaking know. But it's on your money. Hold on a second, y'all. So I heard an alarm going off. I was like, what is that alarm going off? That's weird. I look at my cameras. So let's move forward. We talked about your employees getting food bought from them by the employer because it's public. We talked about the business vehicle. The roof over your head is private, so it goes in a trust. The roof over somebody else's head that you control is public, so it goes in a business. You get it? So if the roof over your head is private and it goes in a trust, that means the roof over your head is not your house. It's the trust house. So when the bills come in that house, they're not your bills, they're the trust bills. You get it? I hope you're connecting this stuff. What else does it mean? It means you're not taking no more vacation. You're going on location. You're taking business trips. On your job, if they send you out for a business trip, what does your job pay for? The flight, the car rental, the hotel, and the food while you're there. So you're never going to take another vacation again, right? You're going to only take business trips, right? And you better be conducting business when you get out there. You ain't going out there saying you conduct the business and you ain't got no business. That don't make no sense. Because you are a law-abiding citizen. I don't have to tell you that, right? You on social media with me right now. Give free information. But this is a use-you situation. I'm not going to misuse y'all, and I'm not going to let y'all misuse me. While y'all on here for all this free information that you're getting right now, I'm on here showing y'all my pretty clothes and my pretty shoes. Why? Because Zabo 103 is also one of my businesses. And even though I ain't getting paid on these platforms, business expense, what kind of shoes I got on today? Business expense, I can keep going. Think about what I'm saying. So let's get into a scenario. Now that we don't want to make this overly complicated. Again, remember, I'm giving you your return on investment right now, even before you join Zabo103tv.com. You're getting your return on investment right now. Watch this. We're going to come up with a scenario. Y'all can tell me how much money I'm making every year on my job. That's an example. Y'all can talk to me about being married, single, whichever one you want me to be, having kids, no kids, good credit, bad credit, whatever scenario y'all want to create, y'all can create. And I'm going to tell you what I would do. So how much money do I need to make in a year? Now, I've been on here probably about 2.5 hours. I'm about to get off in about 30 minutes. 30K a year, good credit. All right, since you were the first person, 17 problems, I'm going to use that. 30K a year is what I bring home. I got good credit. Boom, cool. Am I married, single, kids, no kids? What else got going on? 2 kids. All right, bet. Look like we're going to use all your stuff, 17 problem. You didn't figure this out. You actually coming on this joint fast. Married. All right, bet. Married, 2 kids. I bring home 30K a year. I got good credit. Does my spouse work? Does she work? Say I'm married. Does my spouse work? Are we using that? Or spouse don't work? Spouse work. How much income does my spouse make? Is my spouse the breadwinner? That's what it sounds like. If I got good credit and my spouse work, It don't sound like I'm paying a whole bunch of bill with 30, bringing home 30K. So my spouse must be the breadwinner in this situation. 45 grand a year. All right, so we working together. Because my spouse don't make a whole bunch of money. My spouse, 45K a year. That's my spouse bring home. I bring home 30. So we bring it home about 75,000 a year. So my spouse, we working as a team. They no driver license. Okay, that's cool. I don't need no car, no way. I'm only bringing home 30K a year. What the hell I need a car for? I ain't got no use for no car. I can't afford no damn car. Get them license. I got you, family. Sit tight. I got you. All right. So here's the scenario I got. Good credit don't mean excellent credit. So that means I got some credit card debts, maybe. Maybe, some student loans, maybe. But between me and my wife, we bring home $75,000 a year. We got 2 kids. We married. I ain't got no car apparently, so maybe I'm riding around in my wife's car. I don't freaking know. She got a car. Whatever it is, y'all, we making it work, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. It don't sound like I'm in a real bad situation. I'm in just an average person situation in life, right? It ain't that really it ain't much complicated, right? So in this scenario, nothing changes. So no matter if you are homeless, no matter if you're making 200 grand a year, no matter if you're making 50, 80, 90, 100 grand, the scenario is still the same, y'all. I'm putting my money into 3 places. My money is going into basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy I can afford, and land. Those are the only 3 places my money is going. And being that me and my wife is working together in this plan, I'm going to sit down with my wife. We're going to have this conversation. And all of our money now is going to those 3 places. And we all going to commit to it because that's what we do. We're a unit and we operate as one. Watch this. So here's what I'm going to do, right? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have the conversation with my wife and I'm going to tell her, look, I came up with an idea. I wanted to run it past you. We're going to sit down with the kids a little bit later, but I want us to be on the same page. Once we get on the same page, right? We got this conversation and she know the money going into 3 places. We still going to do the exact same thing we've been doing because I got a beautiful plan. Okay? The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our good credit to excellent credit. Okay? We're going to use this snowball effect to pay our credit cards off, and we're not going to be using our credit cards in the same way that we used them before. That means we got credit cards that we've been paying minimum payment on. We got credit cards that we haven't used any of the money on. So I got pretty good credit. She got pretty good credit. We got about $4,000 in available credit that we can use. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I don't have any negative marks on my credit because I got good credit, right? It is what it is. She ain't got no negative marks. She got good credit. We're probably about like 680 a piece. We ain't really got no bad debt. We got good debt. It can be better. So the very first thing that me and my beautiful wife gonna do, we're gonna execute this plan. I'm gonna talk to my wife. I'm gonna tell her, hey, look, I'm going downtown. I'm gonna take my test to become a licensed builder. I'm gonna study and I'm gonna become a licensed builder. I'm going to actually find me a licensed builder to work up under for 2 years so I can become a licensed builder officially in 2 years. Y'all remember I said this, we're gonna keep that in my back pocket. And my wife, I'm going to talk to her about becoming a real estate agent so she can eventually become a broker. So she's going to take her test, she's going to study for it, and she's going to become a licensed real estate agent and eventually become a broker. Probably going to take her about like 3 or 4 years to get all this stuff accomplished, but whatever. We're going to make it happen. So that means she's going to have to work inside of an agency in order to make all this stuff legit. So within 4 years of our plan, she's going to be a licensed agent. Within 2 years of our plan, I'm going to be a licensed builder. Watch this. Me and my wife both have student loans that we're paying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my wife know we're going to call LexisNexis first. LexisNexis. LexisNexis. Somebody put it in the chat. LexisNexis is a company that houses all your information. I mean, all your information. When I reach out to LexisNexis, I'm going to tell them to freeze our Clue report and our personal file. Clue, C-L-U-E, personal file. They're going to try to upsell us on some extra privacy. We don't need it. We can't afford it. They're going to tell us, once they decide they can't upsell us on nothing, that they're going to send us out a PIN number in 3 days. We're going to tell them, thank you very much. We're going to get off the phone. On that third day, when we get that PIN number, we're going to reach out to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And we're going to start asking them to verify some things. We're going to ask them to validate some things. We're going to dispute some things, depending on what it is. All the bad credit stuff that we may have, which we don't have no bad credit. We also going to tell them that the address that they got on our credit report ain't our address, because most likely it's not. That's not my address. Now, we know they're going to have 30 days to verify that information. Within 30 days, when they get ready to go verify that information, they're going to reach out to LexisNexis to verify it. Being that my Clue report and my personal file is frozen, nothing's coming back. So anything that I disputed is coming off my credit, and it's free. You'll thank me later. I promise you. Lexus, like the vehicle, LexisNexis. Not Alexis, Lexus. So once I got that up under my belt, I'm going to check that box. The next thing I'm going to do, me and my wife, we're going to go sign up for the NACA program. NACA. NACA is going to help us get a home. We've been renting a home all these years. We're going to go get one through NACA. NACA will give us a home. Even they got to get our interest rate down to a 0%. Got to, have a job with an income, right? We got that. Check that box. You can't have no lates on your credit in the last 12 months. We already had good credit. Check that box. You got to sit through that 4-hour program. I don't mind. Check that box. You got to come up with a down payment. We ain't got no money, but we do qualify for the down payment assistance program. Let me check that box too. This is going to get crazy. We still ain't touched that $75,000 that we bring home every year. Watch this, y'all. Now, our money is only going to 3 places: basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy you can afford, and land. Why land? Because they're not making no more. Land is the only thing on this planet that only goes up in value and don't go up and down. Plus, you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. Let's work our way backwards. Why are you getting a life insurance policy? Whole life to be exact. Because your health is your wealth. The healthier you are, the bigger the life insurance policy you can get. Imagine I'm going to be putting money into this life insurance policy that's going to be getting compound interest daily, tax-free, that I can borrow against and pay myself back with interest. This is going to get wild. And basic living expenses, because we got to have a place to live, y'all. I don't want to overcomplicate that, right? So that's where all money is going. So what I'm going to do, because to get my wife on board, to let her know that our lifestyle ain't going to change, we are going to make some sacrifices, but not the same way that most people think. That full $75,000 that we're getting, we're going to go and sit with a life insurance broker, and we're going to have that life insurance broker structure us a whole life insurance policy that we're going to have the ability to borrow the money against that policy as soon as we put money in. So the vested amount that we're putting in is going to be fully vested as soon as we put it in, meaning that we can borrow from it every 30 days. So what do you think is going to happen? We're going to run that full $75,000 that we're going to get every year. That means every pay period. is going directly into the biggest whole life insurance policy we can afford. Even when we borrow that money from the policy every month, we still going to be getting compound interest daily, tax-free on that $75,000 that we put into the policy, even though we borrow the money every single month. I know that sounds crazy because you can't think of nothing on this planet where you can do that. So I'm putting $75,000 into the policy every year, and I'm borrowing $75,000 every year, and I'm paying it back every year, and I'm borrowing it every year. So not only am I getting the compound interest daily on the money tax-free, I'm also getting a 10% interest rate on top of the money that I borrowed. So we're gonna put that $75,000 every year into that whole life insurance policy. It's gonna get tax-free money, compound interest daily, and we're gonna borrow that money back. And now the only two places where we gotta put our money is basic living expenses and land, because we already got the life insurance policy. The basic living expenses that we're gonna have to spend every single year that we have, because we got 2 kids, it's a little bit of a stretch. We're gonna take $50,000 a year and put into basic living expenses. Not a penny more, not a penny less. Well more enough. With the credit cards that we have available, all our bills every single month ain't coming to nothing but $4,000 a month. So we're gonna take that whole $4,000 and put on our credit card. All our $4,000 in bills gonna get paid with the credit card. And then after we borrow the money from the policy, we just paying the credit card off in full every single month. So we're not double dipping. The snowball effect that is going to take with the credit cards, we're paying minimum payment on all the smallest credit card. We're gonna pay the smallest one off first, then roll to the next one, pay that one off, and keep on knocking it down. But all our bills gonna get paid for every single month on that credit card, and that $4,000 is just gonna get paid back every single month. So by us paying that credit card bill every single month on time, in full, we no longer have interest on that credit card. After 2 billing cycles of doing that with any credit card company, you no longer have interest. This is gonna get scary. So what is gonna happen at this point? After that $50,000 is going into basic living expenses, the full 75 went into the policy. We borrowed from the policy. That's going to leave us with $25,000. With that $25,000, I'm going to take $5,000, and that's going to be put to the side for the wife to kind of do whatever she want to do, right? She want to buy some clothes, some other stuff, nails done, whatever it is. Maybe get a couple of outfits for the kids, whatever she want to do. She going to have $5,000 here to play with. It's not a lot of money, but we're making a sacrifice because we're taking a journey. I'm not buying it. That's got it at $25,000, $5,000 go to the wife. She can do whatever she want to do every year. That other 20 grand is going to go buy 4 acres of land. And I know what you're going to say. Man, you can't even buy 1 acre land with $20,000. I know. That's why I said I'm going to buy 4. You're not buying no land in the major city. You're buying land 30 to 45 minutes outside of the major city. In every state across America, you can get an acre land on average for $5,000 or less. It don't matter if you're in California, Texas, Georgia, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Florida. It don't matter what state you in. It's just a fact. So I'm gonna buy 4 acres of land. Now watch what just happened. Me and my wife gonna take this journey, right? For the rest of our life, really, but we only do it for 10 years. We can do it in 5, but we're gonna do it in 10 years. It can happen in 5, but we're gonna do it in 10 because we fully committed. And we gonna be together forever, so it don't matter. We about to change our life forever. So what do you think gonna happen? In 10 years, if I'm buying 4 acres of land every single year, in 10 years, I will have 40 acres of land that I own. Won't be no loans. The property taxes on 1 acre of land without a property on it will cost you less than $50 a year. We will own 40 acres of land, no loans. That's $75,000 that we will put into that whole life insurance policy, where we will get compound interest daily on it, tax-free, that we can borrow against, and we've been playing around borrowing against it. Put more money back in than $75,000 a year. By the time we get to year 10, boys and girls, we will easily have over $1 million in that policy. We will easily have over $1 million in that policy that we can borrow against. You saying what next after the 40 acres? You ain't been here. We explained the story right now. So that means you got to sit tight. Why you being impatient? Slow down, family. We'll have $1 million in that policy we can borrow against. I got 40 acres on this land. I got $1 million in my hand that I can borrow. In 10 years, guess what else did happen? Because we ain't use no credit. I'm a licensed builder. It don't took me 2 years to become a licensed builder. In 10 years, my wife is a broker. It only took her 3 years to become a broker. What do you think gonna happen? Y'all don't see how me and my wife life just changed? I'm bringing home 30 grand. She the breadwinner bringing home 45 grand. We got good credit, raising our kids. We trying to live the life. Now our kids ain't never gonna have to work for nobody else for the rest of their life. Not because we got $1 million. You're getting compound interest on that money even though you borrowed it. That's the power of the life insurance policy. So even when you borrow the money, you're getting the compound interest daily, tax-free on your same money you borrowed. So if I took out that whole $75,000, that $75,000 is still in my life insurance policy getting compound interest. Plus the money that I'm paying back a 10% interest on my money, right? I'm also paying myself back 10% interest on the money that's already getting compound interest daily, and it's all tax-free. This stuff is wild. Think about what I'm saying. Just think about this stuff is wild, y'all. But you don't hear people on social media talking about this stuff. Because if they knew, they would be doing it. But that ain't the scary part. I got $1 million in this hand. I got 40 acres of land in this hand. I'm a licensed builder. My wife is a licensed broker. What do you think we're going to do? I'm going to take an acre of land and I'm going to build a modern duplex. 200 grand. That's all it's going to cost me. So that means I got $1 million. It's cost me 200 grand to do 1 acre of land, a duplex. That means I can do 5 at a time. As a person that then built 29 homes out of his own pocket, I know whatever the value of the home is, it normally take you half an amount to build a property. So if I build this modern duplex for $200,000, I got a property worth 400 grand. So now I done built these 5 modern duplex, 400 grand a piece. That's $2 million in equity that I have. 4 times 5 is 20. 0, 0, 0, 0. That's $2 million in equity in property that I own, that I control. I done turned that $1 million into $2 million overnight. While that $1 million still getting compound interest daily, tax-free in my life insurance policy. This is going to get wild. What do you think I'm going to do after that? It's not over. I'm going to rent out these modern duplexes. Y'all tell me on a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, new construction apartment, 30 minutes outside of the city, how much rent are y'all paying where y'all live? In Georgia, you're spending $2,000. Easy. California, you might be spending somewhere around about $4,000. New York, maybe like $4,000 or $5,000. Mississippi, maybe $1,200, $800, $3,000 in some places. But you're not becoming a landlord today. You're not becoming a landlord for 10 years. So how much you think the rent gonna be on that 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, new construction apartment 10 years from now? It ain't gonna be $2,000 no more. It ain't gonna be $4,000, $5,000 no more. It's easily gonna be double. Easily double. So in Georgia, if it's $2,000, that means it's gonna be easily $4,000 by then. Easily $4,000. I'm not charging $4,000 for my property, y'all. I'm only gonna charge $3,000 a month. $3,000 on one side, $3,000 on the other side. That's $6,000 a month, boys and girls. So y'all tell me, what you think I'm gonna do next? Now I'm gonna put the property in debt. I'm gonna mosey right on up to the bank and go get a mortgage on this property. They're gonna say, you an investor. You might have to put 20% down. 20% of $400,000 is $80,000. Good thing I got it in equity. Uh-oh. That means that the bank gonna give me a mortgage of $320,000. Who's getting that $320,000? You. Tax-free. That your tenant about to be paying back. But you didn't get $320,000 one time. You had 5 modern duplex that you built. Because you did that $1 million. You did 5 properties. So I'm getting 325 times 300,000 times 5 is $1.5 million. 20 times 5 is another 20,000 times 5. That's another what? 100,000. So 3.5. I'm getting $3.6 million from the bank, tax free, that my tenant paying back. I'm getting $1.6 million from the bank on that first pool with those 5 properties, tax free. Because it's the loan, y'all. How much is the mortgage on a $320,000 home? $2,000, $2,500. Call it $3,000 with tax. One of my tenants paying that. That other $3,000 on the other side, it ain't taxed out the gate. Why? You got to get what's called a return of your capital first. You know, the $80,000 in equity that you put down, it ain't taxed until you get that $80,000 back. So I had $320 in this hand, $3,000 left in that hand. But if I do it on all the 5, I got $1.6 million in this hand. Dollars times 5, that's another $15,000 in this hand. What job y'all got making this type of money? What business y'all got making this type of money? And I ain't even done yet. There's more. I got 5 modern duplexes. I done built them. I done rent them out. I done put them up, put mortgages on all of them. Now I got $1.6 million in this hand, and now I got $15,000 in this hand. What do you think I'm gonna do at this point? I got a total of 40 acres, y'all. I'm only gonna do this process 40 times. If I do this process 40 times, and every time I'm doing, I'm getting an extra $120,000 every time I do this, times 40. Somebody do the math for me. Maybe I'm tripping. Somebody do the math for me. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't know. $120,000 times 40. Somebody calculate it for me. What's that number? Come on. Somebody do it for me. 1.6. That's 5 properties. 1.6, 1.6, 3.2. Right? That's $4.8 million tax free that you're getting. $4.8 million tax free. Tell me what jobs y'all got making this type of money. I'm listening. Tell me what business y'all got where y'all getting $4.8 million tax free. I'm listening. And this is from me bringing home $30,000 a year, my wife bringing home $75,000 a year, 2 kids, fair credit. I'm trying to hear it. I don't know. But y'all thought I needed all this money to save, because I ain't talking about having no savings account. I ain't talking about partnering with nobody. I ain't talking about no mentorship, no coaching, no nothing. You asked about this return on your investment of $12.99 by joining Zabo103TV.com. Y'all just got that. Y'all got y'all return on investment right there. But there's more. There's more. You know that $3,000 you went taxed on out the gate? Until you get what's called a return on your capital first, you also getting that 40 times as well. 40 times $3,000, that's an extra $120,000 a month on top of the $4.8 million. Tell me again what jobs y'all got making this type of money. Tell me what business y'all got making this type of bread. I'm listening. I'm all ears. And I'm not telling y'all what I think. I'm telling you what I did and what I do. There's a difference. So when you can see me show one of my business generate 400 grand a month, you can start to get the picture, can't you? I know people be on social media just talking. That's why I show you. Think. $4.8 million tax-free, 120 grand a month. You don't think me and my wife and my kids' life didn't change? You don't think that would change your life forever? Would your perspective shift once you seen those numbers? It would. 100% it would. But see, the problem is people understand. I can do a process all day long. People don't know how to connect the dots. Wealthy people understand how to connect the dots. That's the difference. Y'all almost made me forget before I get up off of here. There's more. What do you mean, Zabo? It's $4.8 million tax-free. That makes sense. There's another $120,000 on top of that. That makes sense. What are you talking about? There's more. There's more. Y'all remember that $80,000 in equity that you have in that property that the bank made you put down at 20%? You also got $80,000 40 times because it's in each one of the properties that you did. That's an extra 80 times 40. If I carry that and put that there, there's $3.2 million in equity on top of the $4.8 million, on top of the $120,000 a month. What jobs y'all got making this type of money? I'm listening. Tell me how y'all trading all this crypto and you going through the moon. I'm listening. Tell me how you don't understand you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. And that was a simple route that I took. We're talking about building rental properties. I wasn't talking about having hunting land. I wasn't talking about leasing the land out to the military. I wasn't talking about having hangars. I used it with something that everybody understands. I got to become a landlord. I need to get me some tenants. Something basic. Because that number can get real crazy if I would have went the other route. But y'all don't hear that. Because you only know as far as you've been. So I'm going to ask you again. Why are you not over there at Zabo103TV.com? You've already got your return on investment 100 times. Forget that it's a business expense, return on investment. Forget the fact of you just figured out how to fix your credit for free, return on your investment. What's that worth? Forget this 10-year process I just showed you that realistically ain't really got to take you 10 years if you paid attention. Return on investment. Think about what I just said. If I'm giving it to you for free, You have no idea. You have no idea. Because that ain't even a percent of what I actually know and what I actually understand and what I actually do. And that's what's wild. Think. 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 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Mike, we going back up, family. We're going back up, family. We're going back up. For sure, for sure, for sure. We had a little thing yesterday that me and my wife did yesterday. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. Definitely tap in. Definitely tap in. It's my own network, y'all. Y'all been looking for somebody that have their own network and it ain't linked to nothing. I got my own. It ain't on YouTube. It ain't on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, Twitch. It ain't none of that stuff, y'all. It's my own platform that I created a little bit over 30 days ago now. Because I got tired of getting suspended for saying the wrong thing. Imagine that for a second. Being suspended on a platform, instead of coming back to the platform complaining about it, I decided to make my own network. Instead of coming back on TikTok and being like everybody else, man, I got suspended. I ain't even saying nothing wrong, man. They always doing at me. If I was over there doing this, and this, they want to suspend me. They let me go all day. Instead of me coming over here complaining about being suspended on the platform, I went and created my own network. I had time. And when you got time, everything starts to unlock. Everything becomes clear. You no longer can unsee these things once you have time. See, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit something way more. I gave y'all something valuable. What I just gave y'all was crazy valuable. But I'm gonna give you something more valuable than what I just gave you. See, America, the United States of America kind of messed up during the pandemic. During the pandemic, a lot of people played around when they got off work. You can't work around people, you got to get you home. Your jobs figured out how to get you to work from home, right? Sent your laptops, made sure you had a phone, made sure you had internet to make sure you were able to work from home because you can work around people. See, the pandemic, they really messed up to people that was really trying to do something different. The pandemic gave people time to think. When you have time to think, I promise you, your job gonna lose an employee. Bank of America lost an employee when I started thinking. As a person that was there for 20 years as an executive without a college degree, making a couple $100,000 a year, I couldn't leave my job and go make a couple $100,000 a year, no way without a college degree. It was no job that was going to hire me making a couple $100,000 a year without a college degree. When they gave me time to think, it was a wrap. It was game over. Because I remember 2019, 2018, I was on the verge. I was like, I'm about to get Ghost Y'all. It's about to be a wrap. I'm conducting business. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm making money. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going. When the pandemic hit, I don't know what it was. I had time to think. It was a wrap. It was a wrap. The minute you start thinking, you will know that working for your last name and not your first is the most important thing you can ever do in your life. Because it will change your life forever. So look, y'all, let me get up off here. It's 5:45 p.m. It's after 5 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. We happy. It's Thursday, Junior. Tomorrow, we all getting paid, right? We all get paid tomorrow, right, y'all? For my people that's on the network right now, shout out to everybody that's on there. We're going up. We're going live in about 30, almost 35 minutes, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. We're going live at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We on the network tonight, y'all. That's where we going. So if you haven't signed up for Zabo103tv.com, again, the link is in the bio. Go tap in. we're gonna go live. I know people gonna be like, I'm signing up right now. How do I get signed in? It's like Netflix, y'all. It's like Netflix, y'all. You go over there, you try to create an account. Once you subscribe, right? When you create the account, it's going to send you your username is going to be your email address that's attached to the payment that you did. So if you did PayPal, Apple Pay, or something like that, or you got a payment through the iCloud or something, whatever email that's attached to that payment that you paid with, that's your username. Don't overcomplicate it. I'm telling you, right? Once you go to create your account, they're going to send you an email. My tech guys are pretty good about sending that email. They do it. Zabo103tv.com. It's not an app just yet. We only been up for like 13 days. An app coming soon. Once you actually get that email, or once that email is sent to you, don't panic. The email is going to go to your spam account. I already know it. My tech team has told me too many times over the last couple of days. It's going to your spam account. When it goes to your spam account, I know you're going to be looking for Zabo 103 TV. It's not going to be there. You're going to have to look at search Store Plus. It's probably going to be the first email in your spam account, but that's okay if you don't just say, oh, it's the first email in my spam account. Don't worry about it. It's going to be Store. You can search Store Plus in your spam, and the new email that's in there in your spam that says Store Plus, you're going to click on it. It's going to say, welcome to Zabo 103 TV. Create your password. Click that button. Create your password. You're in. You're going to see 3 buttons once you get into your profile pic. You're going to say, click profile pic. 3 buttons going to pop up. And when the 3 buttons pop up, it's going to say live access to Zabo 103 TV. You're going to click that button. The minute that I'm live, you're going to see me pop up. If I'm not live, it's going to tell you the time that I'm going live. Okay. The button right below it is going to say access to Zabo 103 TV network. If you click that button, it's going to take you to all of the pre-recorded shows that are up there. Shows air every week. Got something for almost everything you can think of on there. The community thing, I gotta talk with my team about it because I want to make that more visible for people to see it. But right now it's in that little 3 little line hamburger thing. You click on it, people, it just got up. It's only been up a few days now. So I gotta get people active over there. But you click on that button, and it's a community over there where you can chat. You can post pictures, you can chat what your progress is. The reason why that community is there, with the information that y'all getting from me, I want to see what action y'all taking. I don't want this to be a whole nother thing that you pay for publicly and you don't do nothing with it. I want you to get the information that you're going to get, research the information. Once you see that the information will work for you that you research, I want you to take action. Once you took action on it, post your results. Post what you got going. Tell us if it worked, if it didn't work. If it didn't work, why it didn't work. Let's talk through it. If it did work, it's going to help give other people confidence, y'all. We're going to keep this thing rolling, y'all. It is what it is. So look, I will see y'all for the people that have subscribed at Zabo103tv.com. The link is in the bio. Definitely tap in. And we're going to keep this party going, y'all. In the meantime, look, y'all be good. I have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, my law-abiding citizens. My law-abiding citizens, I will see y'all at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, y'all, the link is in the bio. Peace.